Brad Meter. I forgot to introduce myself, Area Sales Manager, and I also have Bula Bob, our Product Manager for the South Pacific. This webinar will be recorded and played back later, sent to you later. And also we will have this on our webinar on demands. Since this is a new platform, if there's any questions, please go ahead and enter those into the presentation. We'll answer those at the end of the presentation. We're very excited to bring this one with our touring partners. And I'm going to turn this over to Jason. And Jason, you should have the controls.
Okay. All right. Yeah, looks like I do. Thank you for that, Brad. And I think we're ready to go. So good morning to everyone, or good afternoon if you're tuning in from the East Coast at all, or over on the East side. I'm Jason Stratford. So I'm Sales and Marketing Manager North America, and I'm actually based in Vancouver in British Columbia, but I look after all of Canada and US for our Australia and New Zealand product. So let's crack into it. So we're going to try moving to the next slide. And so just bear with us 1 second. Once it gets going, it'll work fine. Press the button. And here we go.
I'll go ahead and just press it for you.
No, I got it. We're all good.
Okay.
All right. So you can see there's a main screen there. This is the presentation with All About and APT, and that's the cover of our brochure. If you're needing any of those brochures at all, contact All About. A lot of them now, what we do though is we have an electronic version, which is on All About site, I believe. Bob will let you know if that's not true, but I believe it is. And
it is true.
I thought it was. Good. So yeah, you can just view it from there and download pages and so on. All right, so we're going to go through some of the product that we have on offer currently, and also some changes that are coming up for the new brochure, which are really exciting, especially for me, because it's great to be talking about something different. So I'm excited by that. So let's have a look. Let's move through this. Hopefully the next page will move over. Yes, it will. Nice. Okay. So we've been around for over 90 years. So we're an Australian-based company. Have an office in the UK, and we have an office in North America. So we started off just doing Australian tours way back in 1927. It was more like a transport company back then, and then it moved into doing Australian tours, then into New Zealand, then over into Europe and Canada and Alaska. Actually, we have inbound in here into Canada and US. And also Europe river cruising, Asia river cruising, all over the place. We don't promote any of that out of North America. We just promote our Australia and New Zealand product via our wholesale partners, like All About. So that's what the coaches used to look like back in the 60s and 70s. Now they look a lot nicer, thank heavens for that. You've got now panoramic windows, two-door entry deluxe coaches. There's a restroom on board. And also there's Wi-Fi included as well now on all of our tours. We've also got this personal app, which is super great because it works offline as well. It's got maps relevant to where you are on tour. The tour director can make comments to you as well while you're on tour, while you're in the coach, for example. And you can also chat to each other as well. So there you go. But obviously we want to be looking at scenery as well, because that's the thing about New Zealand. It's got some of the most fantastic scenery in the world. I'll be talking a little bit about Australia at the end of this as well, but just really briefly. So with us, compared to the other operators out there, some of them do similar thing. Oh, we've moved on. Traveling with Aussies, Kiwis, Brits, and North Americans. So it's a really good mix of people. So I'm going to play a quick little video. It's about a minute long, and just so you can get a bit of a sense of who we are and what we are promoting with New Zealand. Let's give it a whirl here. Oh, no, didn't like it. Let's try it again. Oh, let's go back. We tested all this and it worked fine before.
Wow.
So now we've got a bit of
I guess that's not going to work there. So
it doesn't play. Interesting, when you go online, it decides not to work. Oh, well, that's fine. I have another video coming up as well, which I'll give that a try. Okay, so why New Zealand with APT? We've got a few things that the others don't have on our what we call our premier escorted touring, with inclusions such as the 5-star Te Whanui Franz Joseph Resort. right by Fox Glacier, Franz Josef, beautiful area of New Zealand. And this property, even though we have our groups go in there with up to about 48 people on some occasions, they all get treated like individuals when they check into this place. It's a stunning eco-friendly property that we use on our tour. So that definitely sets us apart. We also have more freedom of choice touring options per trip as well compared to the others on average. And I'll go through what that means in a second. We also stay at Mount Cook at the Hermitage with Mount Cook view rooms, and other operators call their Mount Cook stay a Mount Cook stay, yet they are about an hour away up the road at Twizel and can see Mount Cook in the distance. So that's definitely an advantage for us. We also have a bunch of value tours as well that keeps the price down for those that just want your traditional type escorted coach tour. We've also got a lot of rail tour options as well. The other thing we do is we have prepaid discounts all year round. So it doesn't end at a particular date. If the clients are prepared to pay 6 months out in full, 10 months out, or a year out ahead in full, they can save 10, 7.5, and 5% on discounts by paying in full. So definitely something that's worthwhile to mention to the clients, and it's a way to save some money for sure, even at this late stage of the season when our new brochure is coming out towards the end of October. Normally we wouldn't have any offers around this time, but because we keep that prepay in full all year round, there are always an offer with us. So these are the type of hotels that we use on our touring. Crown Plaza, Queenstown, Novotel, Queenstown, Lakeside, on the different types of tours that we've got. There's the Te Wānui Forest Retreat in the bottom left-hand corner that I was talking about, and also the Hermitage Mount Cook with the Mount Cook view rooms. So this is our main tour. When you're going through New Zealand, it combines all the places that you would expect to see if you were going to see the highlights of New Zealand. This is our 17-day New Zealand Wonderland that includes the Bay of Islands as well at the very top. It's our most popular tour. It really is fantastic. I mean, it does show and highlight all of New Zealand. We have other variations as well. We have a 23-day, which we sell to a maximum of 40 people, and not the 48 that our coaches hold. Just on the coaches too, we have a little bit more leg room than, again, the other operators as well. So they have the same type of coach with 51 seaters, but they sell to 50, we sell to 48, and we've pulled out a few seats to create that extra bit of leg room. We also sell variations of this main tour by breaking it down without Bay of Islands as a 14-day, a 12-day as well option on this, and a 9-day as well for both the islands separately. So let's just have a look how the freedom of choice works in New Zealand. So for example, once the clients come into Queenstown, this would be on day 11 on this itinerary. And the itinerary states travel via glacier-formed Haast River Valley to Queenstown. They have freedom of choice dining options in the evening. They can choose from 4 different restaurants, and they can just go on their own if they want. If they don't like anyone else on the tour, they can just get away for a night. And it's all paid for by APT. There's a couple of drinks included with the meal as well. And it's 4 different restaurants, as I mentioned before, and one of them is up the top of Coronet Peak, where you can see the gondola there in the right-hand corner. All included, no extra cost. They have 2 nights in Queenstown. So on day 12, they then have freedom of choice touring options as well. So they have freedom of choice dining the night before, freedom of choice touring the next day. So they could choose like Lord of the Rings or a winery, do the jet boat. So it depends how active they're feeling, depending on the weather, and they decide all this while they're on tour. And again, no extra cost. It's just a great way for clients to be able to change up their tour a little bit. So even if you've got some independent clients that are not sure about doing escorted coach touring, this actually could be a way to sort of perhaps convince them in a way, if you like, that things have changed a little bit with touring now. They can make decisions separately on their own, independently, while on tour and still have the comfort of the tour group. So it's definitely changed up quite a bit. And again, these are included. There's no extra cost. So if they don't like Lord of the Rings, not interested in that, where it was all filmed, they don't have to do it. So they can go to a winery instead, for example. But that's basically how it works. I mean, these are the places that we have the freedom of choice touring on our New Zealand program. So Auckland, Bay of Islands, Rotorua, Queenstown, Mount Cook, and Dunedin. There's plenty of choices in all of those places. And on the longer tour, The 23-day, we've got Wellington, Te Anau, and Blenheim as well. And there are just a couple you have to pre-select. That's because the tour starts there, so we need to know ahead of time what they want to do in Auckland and Bay of Islands, for example. This is what the freedom of choice dining choices look like. So as I mentioned before, the Skyline restaurant, the third along there, is the most popular one that people seem to choose when they're on tour. They want that view and the great dining experience up there. Walter Peak is a sheep. There's a sheep farm on the other side where they go across a lake and end up seeing the sheep farm, sheep demonstration, and then they end up eating the sheep. No, sorry. Then they've also got Finn's restaurant, and then which is a seafood restaurant, and the hotel restaurant. If people just don't want to do anything, they don't have to. They can just eat in the hotel. And the same thing in Wellington. We've got some choices there as well. So that just gives you an idea of how that all works. Now this one, I'm going to try this little quick video. This one might work because it's not using the internet this time. It's embedded into the presentation. So let's give this a go. No, it didn't work. Heavens. Sorry about that. I was hoping that one would work. All right, let's try one more time. Here we go. Got it. Okay. We'll try that again. Great.
I'm in a town in New Zealand. It is on the North Island. This place is also called Sulphur City because of its geothermal activity. Where am I? I'm in Rotorua. Whether it's the North or South Island, enjoy this and other freedom of choice inclusions when you tour with APT.
I do love it when a plan comes through. So there we are. So that shows you the type of things or the type of places where the freedom of choice touring options occur. We've got a bunch of promo videos like that actually out there, and they're really quite interesting to watch. So there we are. So other than just those freedom of choice touring type tours as well, we do have the traditional lower price tours, such as this Value Plus, we call it, which is like your 3.5, 4-star touring compared to the 4.5, 5-star touring and hotels with the Premier that we were just looking at. So this one doesn't have the freedom of choice touring, but again, like I said, the price has been lowered. It still has all the inclusions you would expect to see or experience, just at that lower price without the freedom of choice. And the hotels are at the slightly lower level. We've also got 12-day version. This is the 15-day, a 12-day version without Bay of Islands. And then we split this into two and do 8 days Southern Escape and 8 days Northern Explorer. So splitting the islands as well. We've got Prince Harry there. He's always in New Zealand, loves it. So the next slide, we've got our rail adventure. So this just gives you an example of the other types of itineraries that also can be done in New Zealand. Rail is really popular in New Zealand. Yes, there was a big earthquake that happened, I think it was a year back now. I can't exactly remember. I think it was about a year back. And the Coastal Pacific, you can see there from Picton down to Christchurch, actually stopped. The track was basically damaged in a big way. So that is starting up again towards the end of this year. So that's great. So we were able to do this itinerary in its full stature. So you can see there's tons of different train journeys on this. And we've also got a Premier version too. So we've got the Value Plus version, price is slightly lower because of the hotel type. And then we've got the Premier escorted as well. We've got the higher class hotels and freedom of choice touring on that itinerary as well. So that's New Zealand in a nutshell. Just to give you a bit of a taste of New Zealand, I mean, it's a stunning place. We have so many more options. But just really quickly, just to give you just a quick overview of what we have for Australia as well. This is our main tour. It's called the Discover Australia 15-day. It's the value product. So it's just got your basic fly in, fly out, couple of tours and hotel accommodation really, really well priced. So contact All About for pricing on that. We've also got the 13 day is a really popular tour for us, Sydney to Cairns, Cairns to Sydney. And we include a flight from Sydney to Gold Coast, because that section, which the other companies do, we've had feedback is not the most exciting. It's just a long stretch for a one-night stay in between it. So we've included a flight that they receive on the tour. We go to Hamilton Island, we stay at Fraser Island, beautiful, stunning reef out there up north from Fraser Island, right through from Hamilton Island up to Cairns. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful area. So that's also a value tour as well. Really, really well priced. We've got a lower price than most of our competitors. And just really quickly, we also have Tasmania. Got a ton of different options with Tasmania. We've got the APT version with the Freedom of Choice Touring. Also got Value Plus for the lower price tours. And we've also got Western Australia as well. We really have Western Australia covered with the Value Plus product. Tons of different tours other than just the one you can see on the screen there. The best way to see those is they're not in our main North American brochure or the e-brochure that you'd see with All About. It's actually to go to travelmarvel.com.au. It's an Australian site for Travel Marvel, which is the sister company, which is our value product that I've been talking about. If you click on that, it will show pricing in US dollars and Canadian if you're in here from Canada. So it will know that you're looking at the website from there. Okay, but you'll see all the different options we've got for the value product on that site, and all of that can be booked through All About. Really quickly, the Kimberley as well. That's basically our region. We created tourism up there. We built wilderness lodges right through, like the Bungle Bungles and all sort of areas like that. We've got small group 4-wheel drive tours up to 20 maximum people, and we've got Kimberley Cruising as well. We own one of the small ships, and we've also got air safaris. So we are the place for Kimberley, and again through All About, no problems at all. So with the special offers, like I said, pay in full early offers all year round. And the big news, the news flash, is on the new brochure. This is what it's going to look like, the cover of it. Although I like the lambs and the picture from Brad put up right in the beginning. But we're going with this one. This is pretty too. Oops, sorry about the phone in the background. And we've got a release date of October 17, so it's not that far away. And the new big news is that we've got small group New Zealand tours. So I don't have a lot of details on it at the moment, but that'll be in a future webinar for sure. We've also got an Adelaide to Darwin 4-wheel drive trip, which I'm excited about because I'm originally from Adelaide, been in Canada 20 years, but I really wanted to see some product for our 4-wheel drive area of Australia coming from Adelaide and going up to Darwin, so that goes through Cooper Pedy and so on. So that's great news. That's going to be in the brochure. And we're also really changing up the Australia, the Discover Australia is going to be changing its name. It's going to have a slight twist to it. It really is changing quite a bit. Also, our New Zealand tours are changing a bit as well. We're actually changing some of the length of them and some of the inclusions as well. So it's exciting for the new brochure. So again, stay tuned for that in the future for a new webinar. So that's pretty much it for me. It's a bit of just a quick summary of what we do and what All About can do for you. And there's their phone number with the All About number and the extension down there. And that's pretty much it from me. So thank you so much. Any questions at all?